movie first.
Do we really have to go live?
Seconds.
Horns down.
Oh, we're just supposed to do the show now?
That is one of the most awkward opens I've ever seen in my life.
Somebody from my Patreon said, "Never stop messing up the intro."
Oh, it's great.
So
It's fantastic. Oh, it's
That's our
I said I'm just never going to learn it.
That's our thing. All right. Everyone quiet. Please, class, settle down.
Settle down.
Settle down. I'm 5 points. I want to talk about something that happened in sports. It was involved a certain Pittsburgh Steelers backup quarterback, and it happened nearly 2 weeks ago on July 3rd in his Las Vegas hotel, the Cosmopolitan. By the way, a very nice hotel right there in the New Strip area. I think it's next to the Aria. Anyways, Dwayne Haskins, the backup quarterback for the actually he's probably going to start, by about week 3, I think, after Ben Roethlisberger breaks down like an old Pinto by the side of the road. Apparently, Dwayne wanted to go out and hang out with his buddies and didn't wait for his wife, and she did not take it very kindly to it. And Dwayne, at 2:30 in the morning, woke up, I guess, with a split lip and was missing his tooth. Apparently, it's so bad that he had to have dental work done to repair his missing tooth. And it was his wife who was charged with domestic violence and battery. And apparently, Tree, what did you say? Why were they out there again?
I think it was for to renew their vows for a third time. I think that's what I was hearing.
Oh my gosh.
Nothing
it's
love.
Yeah.
Till death do us part.
In Vegas, in a shotgun wedding, renewing your vows for the third time. And with a busted lip and a broken tooth, he'd fit in well in Pittsburgh. So you know what? Hey, Dwayne, welcome to the family, brother.
All right, so this just leads me to a bunch of questions. And first of all, Dwayne says that he does not even remember the incident. Okay. And obviously because he got knocked the freak out. But it makes me wonder, did she hit him with more than a fist, right? So she knocked a tooth out and split his lip. Did she hit him with a lamppost? I want to know, have any of you ever been hit or assaulted by your significant other in a serious manner?
I saw that Dwayne posted that he was not missing his tooth on Instagram. He said he still has all of his teeth. So maybe it was just part of a tooth. Maybe that's what he was saying. But I feel like there's some research that still needs to be done in this whole situation.
Maybe he went to that summer camp, Camp Chipatooth.
I would just like to say, first and foremost, hello, everyone out there. Hello, chat. I'm glad to be here today. I am Wild Scooter, for those of you unaware. I am a variant of Wildflower. If you're watching Loki, yes, I come from a different universe. And I'm happy to be here and joining you guys. And to answer your question, 5 points, I have not dated an abuser. No, I have not.
Okay. Well, that's one.
I'm just glad to be here, though.
Uh-huh.
Hello.
I'm sure all of our significant others have vividly imagined the scenario, though. I'm willing to bet that my wife has shot and buried me completely in her head, and then had the funeral, and then looked up and told me, "Yeah, Cracker Barrel's fine. We can go eat there if you want." Anyways, all right, let's get into another question. Tree, this is for you, Tree. How do you think that this affects the Steelers' backup QB situation, given that Dwayne Haskins already experiencing off-field troubles?
I don't think it affects it at all. Now, if Dwayne Haskins were the one committing the violence, his ass would have been cut already. And there's a quarter for the jar. Sorry about that. But I did want to say, I mean, at this point, it's just like an unfortunate circumstance. And we're already at the point, I mean, it's kind of a double standard where we're already talking about, like, you know, in the ways that, like, a man got the shit beat out of him and there's another quarter. Sorry about that. But
urinating Tree. Say it is not so, Tree.
It is socialist, Joe. It is so. Here's a quarter. But but if this were the other way around, if we were talking like, oh, we were asking like how he beat his woman, like that would be considered like heinous. We'd be saying like, get out of the league, you're finished. So that's the way I see it. I don't think there's going to be any like repercussion right now, per se.
Didn't the Steelers work out Paxton Lynch at some point this offseason?
He was there last year.
Oh, last
year or 2 years ago. Yes, he was a Steeler for like a hot minute.
Okay.
He is in the Saskatchewan Roughriders now, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's the Paxton news I was thinking of.
So Saskatoon.
Has any of you ever watched Canadian football? It is not football.
It's different.
It is hard to watch. Like, I've just sat there and I was like, why are they running before the ball snaps? And this doesn't
just
look
a different
like
perspective. 5 points. A different way of playing a wonderful sport. You should give it a chance. I enjoy it.
I shall. All right. Can any of you think of, so this leads me to another question. Can any of you think of crazy women? Because they say behind every man, great man, is a woman who is just, you know, yelling at him to be a better person. I know that's how my world works. Can you think of any crazy women that ruined athletes or others' careers? The first thing I think of is Kurt Cobain.
Interesting.
No, I know exactly one for this. There was a Pirates prospect at the time. He made the big leagues. His name was Jose Tabata. He had married somebody who was roughly over 20 years his senior. It was a woman named, I'm looking it up right now, Amalia Tabata Pereira. And she was accused of faking a pregnancy and stealing a baby to fool her husband into thinking he was the father. In March 2009, Tabata Pereira posed as an immigration official and threatened a migrant worker and her boyfriend with deportation if they didn't give her baby girl to Pereira. And then she pled guilty. Like, she was absolutely insane. That's who I think of.
I think
that's commitment to the bit.
Oh,
like,
yeah, man.
Yeah, that sounds like a baseball doesn't exist video. Like,
yeah, that's a good video for the future. Like Jose Tabata, we all think he's like, oh, he's only 33. Everyone thought he's like, oh, he's dating someone older. It's like he's like 36.
my second one was Valerie Bertinelli, so that really doesn't compare to Jose Tabata at all. She just ruined a metal band. That's all.
I think this paints a very interesting picture when you think about the dating life of athletes. They have to be careful, very careful. How can they even know who to trust? Very interesting question, 5 points. Thank you for bringing it up.
I think of Lisa Left Eye Lopez burning down Andre Rison's home.
That's a good one too. But
I don't know like the backstory there, but she started a fire at his house, his mansion in Atlanta, and I think she just got probation for it. Didn't ruin his career per se, but that was crazy. I mean, I was young, but I just remember going, "What?"
Well, if I remember correctly,
didn't Andre burning down NFL players' homes?
Didn't Andre Rison go to the Cleveland Browns after this?
Maybe she
So
did.
that's probably what it is. I mean, that ruined him, not Left Eye.
Yep. And then a lot of people, I'm seeing Mike Tyson in there. Yeah, Robin Givens, pretty much.
Phil Hartman's wife, which was more tragic than anything.
That was terrible. And then John Lennon, Yoko Ono. kind of.
Yoko Ono was pretty good at ruining people.
Yes.
She's probably the most famous for it, right?
Oh yeah, she's still famous for it.
All right.
She's been riding on that for like 30 years.
It looks like, according to the timer, so we're doing something different this show. If you haven't noticed, we decided to divide the labor, and everyone has to bring a segment to the show to discuss now. And as we have stated before, the super chats work this way: the more you donate to a participant in here, that person becomes the loser and they get a punishment, aka Impractical Joker style. And as you see to my, oh look, I got the direction right.
I like the idea of somebody tuning in for the first time and just getting 10 minutes into the show and not knowing what the hell's going on with Scooter.
Yeah, well, that's pretty standard in this show.
Scooter was the winner last time, and he is being punished by playing a character that Tom made up, who wears a Dwayne Haskins jersey and is a hippie from the 70s and has to, or 60, is it the 60s?
This is not a character. This is a way of life.
He's a lifestyle, man.
It's a lifestyle, man.
A complete lifestyle, man.
What?
Yeah. One day we'll have to
worst
break down
team?
the differences between the nuance brought to the Wildflower character by Scooter and by Tom.
So,
I think there are some artistic choices here that are happening.
I think together we could form a cataclysmic event and save the world.
oh, baby, we can get a Nexus event all night long. You and me, we can hold hands. Then the TVA can come in, and oh boy, they got some batons, and ooh, I can't wait to get pruned.
All right, so if you want to see someone get punished, get those donations out there. Now I shall
Please
pass
don't
it
donate
over.
to me anymore.
I shall pass it over to Brandon and his segment, and he is fired up. Brandon Perna from That's
All right.
Good Sports shall now
Taking over. I'm taking over.
take over, and I'll start your timer now.
Ooh, okay. First thing I saw today, Tom Brady played in the Super Bowl with a torn MCL. I want a one-word answer from each of you, starting with Adam, then going to Scooter, then Urinating Tree, then Tom. Impressed or not impressed? Adam, go.
Not impressed. Why is this information coming out now? Like, does he just want to flex on everyone? He's like, look, I went to Tampa, I won the Super Bowl, and I did it on a torn MCL. Like, I don't need to know that. He's just trying to cement his legacy as the GOAT, and Barry's mind is exploding now because
Yeah, Barry might be dead.
he's always gifted a top 10 defense, and I don't need to know this. I don't care.
Scooter, impressed, unimpressed?
All of our variants do not like Tom Brady. I am not impressed one bit.
Tree, impressed, unimpressed?
Slightly impressed, more or less. It might be part of the TB12 diet as well. Just tear your MCL and you'll become really good at playing quarterback as well. You have to give credit to the people around him because Chris Godwin was really good in that Super Bowl. Also, Mike Evans, Gronk had a touchdown or two. And Michael Jordan is indeed the GOAT. Sorry, LeBron. I hope you enjoy your release of Space Jam 2. I will not be watching.
Tom, impressed, unimpressed?
I am thoroughly impressed by the way, as Tree alluded to, that the TB12 diet obviously works. The amount of minerals and vitamins that were coursing through his veins made not only his MCL a non-issue, but made his defense better, because I have to imagine that he peddled that product like an MCM woman on Facebook. Like, hardcore was like, listen, we got herbal salts, oils, like we got us all the essentials, start putting in a vaporizer and get 10 of your friends to sign up. And I guarantee you that they're trying to get out of it and they have a whole bunch of it in their garage. So I think it just really speaks to the entrepreneurial spirit of Tom Brady.
Great. I think Adam and Tom are onto something here. I dug a little bit into the story. Apparently, He's had this injury since 2019. It happened when he was a Patriot still, just didn't get it fixed. So yes, one part of Tom Brady's mind is like, I can sell this as a marketing product on TB12. If I win another Super Bowl without an MCL, then I'm going to make buku bucks. I'll use my $1 million PPP loan and not get the surgery. And then I remembered a little fact that I point out on the end of my podcast, and that's John Elway played his entire career without an ACL. So until Tom Brady does that, I refuse to be impressed. Second stat I got here. If anybody knows the answer, chime in. Which NFL quarterback is the all-time leader with wild card wins?
Wild card wins.
Saw this on NFL Reddit, by the way.
NFL Reddit.
The all-time leader in wild card wins. That's got to be someone that has that won a bunch of, like, their team was very middling. They got into the playoffs, and they didn't get they got Pat. It's got to be like Dan Marino.
Well,
that's a good guess, but incorrect.
I'd say Brett Favre.
Another solid guess, but incorrect.
I am going to take a shot in the dark and say Eli Manning.
No,
incorrect.
No, they didn't make the playoffs enough when it was Eli.
I'm gonna have to go with Dwayne Haskins for my choice.
The league done messed up, Dwayne.
Good try. The answer is Joe Flacco with 5 wild card wins. Your guys' guess: Marino, Favre, Breeze, Rivers, Rodgers, and Russell Wilson all have 4. So those were solid guesses. But yeah, a team that's in the playoffs a lot.
What about Dwayne Haskins?
Dwayne Haskins, I still believe, has 0.
So that record's going to be broken when Aaron Rodgers takes the Broncos to the wild card game.
Yeah. Well, he would be AFC champion, but the Packers aren't going to trade him until like a few games into the season. So it's going to take a little bit for him to get going. Then he's going to barely sneak him in there, and then he's going to take him all the way to the Super Bowl. Okay, here's a question for Tom.
No.
AJ Hawk spent the week with Aaron Rodgers. Great segue here, guys. AJ Hawk says he believes Rodgers is coming back to the Packers, that he's going to retire a Packer. Hey, Tom, why should we trust AJ Hawk? Why would he not just be saying this because there's nothing to talk about right now?
Oh, well, I mean, if you really wanted to drum up some drama, he would say that he's not coming back because then everyone would click on it. To be fair.
AJ Hawk's not about the drama, though. We all know that.
He's not. Well, I think I feel like people are, and I'm just speaking for Packers fans, are so burnt out by it. Like, my Uber ride from the airport to my hotel, the guy was like, I don't want to hear any more about Aaron Rodgers. Like, I just want him to come back. Like, and I don't want to hear it anymore. Because, like, I don't know if you guys saw, like, Chris Collinsworth and Adam Schefter, like, did a role play. Like, and I wish I made this up because, like, I didn't click it. People were sending it to me, and I'm like, I don't care. And then I randomly saw it. They literally did a role play of, like, what the worst case scenario would sound like. And I swear, like, Adam Schefter was Aaron Rodgers, and he was like, I want a divorce and I want to leave. And then Chris Collinsworth was like the Packers front office. He's like, well, then you're going to retire. And they went, like, back and forth. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, it was cringe.
Wow.
So, like, that's the kind of thing that is, like, out there right now. And I think AJ Hawk is amongst millions of other people who are just like, just let's go. Like, just pick a lane. And
do you want to role play? I'll pretend to be playoff Aaron Rodgers right here. And yeah, listen, I want a divorce there, Chris Collinsworth. Don't you dare smack me and make me lose a tooth.
Well, here's a guy.
Wait, can you grow a solid beard, Adam?
No, it starts to hurt after a while, and then I just have to get rid of it.
Yeah,
some people have majestic beards, and it doesn't bother them, but mine feels like Brillo, and it looks like
super
Brillo.
Intimidating with a beard, like a long, thick beard.
Like this?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
This is content, people.
This
This is high quality content, man.
This just makes me want to have 5 dress up as Tom now.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, next thing I got. NFL Top 100. We got 10 to 6. Players coming in from 10 to 6. Stephon Diggs, Myles Garrett, Jalen Ramsey, Travis Kelce, Derrick Henry. Tell me which one of these players is underrated and why it's Derrick Henry.
I think like he's pretty rated. I would say if any one of those guys, like Myles Garrett, I mean, he gets a lot of notoriety, but I would say before last season, like it'd be Diggs. As a Packers fan, I think it's Diggs.
This is the only reason why Myles Garrett has controversy.
He's a good player.
He is. He's a very good player. It's just that one moment that kind of messed him up.
Yeah, but I think Stephon Diggs
that
is
sort of
super
stereotype.
underrated. Like he's a really, really good player, and he was a good player on the Vikings, and like he destroyed it with Josh Allen last year. So, yeah.
Where would you put Stephon Diggs? Where would you put Stephon Diggs on the top 100 list?
Out of receivers or like all players?
Is the list all players, Brandon Perna?
Yes, it's all.
Yeah. Oh, God. I mean, I'd put him in the top 10. I don't know what number I'd actually give him.
So he's at 10. He's at 10.
Yeah.
All these guys are great. This is solid by any means. Okay, Travis Kelce, I hate to admit it, but he's really good. I see it way too frequently as a Broncos fan. Jalen Ramsey really bounced back last year, had a tremendous season after having that back injury or fake back injury to get him into LA. I thought, he's not that good anymore, but he was great again. Derrick Henry rushed for 2,000 yards, and they put him at 6. Like, he does something that only, 5 or 6 other running backs have done ever? I just feel like he should be top 3. I think he's that important to the Titans.
Well, if you
over the last 2 years. And I just don't get me wrong. Spot 6, that's great. But I saw him there. I think he is second or third best player in the league right now.
Go ahead, Tree.
Your top 5. Aaron Donald, he's probably your number 1.
Right.
Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes. You make the argument for Rodgers. Brady's probably not up there yet.
You're putting Josh Allen in the top 5.
Well,
of the entire NFL.
Recency bias.
Davante Adams, baby. Let's go.
No, it's not going to be Davante Adams. It's probably going to be. I'm trying to think who could be like a really elite player. Ramsey's already up that list.
Who's the
It'll
best?
probably be Rodgers, Mahomes, Donald,
Aaron Donald, top. Not TJ Watt.
Hey, I think
Watt is really good.
You expect that though for quarterbacks, right? But
yeah, quarterbacks are probably the ones that are going to overtake.
Wild Scooter's still about to break character.
I'm just saying, Henry
guys,
should be.
What happened is my niece just FaceTimed me during this call, so I'm FaceTiming with her right now.
In a Redskins jersey, in a Washington football team jersey. Sorry.
Mommy,
Wow.
can we send help to Uncle Scooter?
All right. So, congratulations, Perna. You made it 11 minutes, which is 10 more minutes longer than you
I
make.
don't know about B-ball now.
That leads us to pass the torch down to Tree right here.
Oh, jeez.
Who had some subjects that he wanted to talk about.
Well,
Tree.
Here we go. Well, here's time for this entire situation to self-destruct and destroy on itself. This symbol is now illegal in the eyes of the Big 12. The horns down gesture is now being cracked down by the Big 12. If you do a horns down to a Texas player as an opponent, that's probably going to be a foul. Big 12 coordinator of officials Greg Burke said, if a player turned to the crowd to throw the sign, it probably would not be a penalty. So now general taunting in this regard, horns down, is now illegal in the eyes of the Big 12. I think it's rather crappy. I think it is soft as heck. It is like literally toilet paper soft. I can cuddle with it, and I will have the greatest sleep in my life in terms of soft. We'll go right to Wildflower, or Wild Scooter, I should say. how do you feel if suppose like an opponent weren't allowed to do the Gator clap to you?
Well,
to taunt you?
I'm glad you brought this question to me, Urinating Tree, because I too am a Florida Gators fan in this universe. It is actually illegal currently for opponents to do a Gator chop. So this is just another in-line step with things that are already happening, I would say. If opponents did a Gator chop like this during a game, they would be penalized. So what do? They wait, Urinating Tree, until after they beat us for whatever reason, and then their whole team Gator chomps. So I envision this is what will be happening to all the teams in Texas as well, playing Texas.
So is it illegal for the other team to take their own shoe and throw it down about 30 yards on the field? Is that
I think
legal?
that's been illegal for a while.
No, but it's their own shoe, not the opponent's shoe, and they just take it.
Do not want to talk about that 5 points. Thank you.
I thought you were the peace.
I'm protecting my energy today.
Well, let's suppose I wanted to do the metal sign like this, and instead I accidentally am like this because I'm upside down. Am I going to get penalized by the Big 12 because I'm technically doing horns down? Like, is the entire state of Texas going to come after me?
They will, and they will find you. They will find you.
I'm not surprised by that. I think it would. Mr. Five, how do you feel about this? Any situations comparable?
I think that this is part of a bigger problem. Like remember when the NBA said that Dikembe Mutombo could not do the "not in my house" to the finger wag to another opponent because I guess too many opponents got triggered because of it, and they were like, "Oh, okay," and then they said, "Okay, you can do it because we realize that this is your thing, but you can do it to the crowd." Right? You can be like, "Not in my house," or you can do it in a grocery store like he does now in those commercials. Dikembe, surprisingly in shape, by the way, for whatever age I think he's in his 50s for sure. Looks great in that commercial. Yeah. But anyways, that ripple effect is now being seen when the crowd acts up and gets in these players' faces and yells "F you" to Russell Westbrook. That, of course, obviously people have yelled things at the athletes on the field, but it shifted the focus. Now it's a beef between Dikembe and the crowd, right? And if you're going to hook them horns or down, whatever this down thing is, whatever this is, it looks like
horns down.
Upside down Satan.
If they start doing it to the crowd, now the crowd is going to be, talking a bunch of smack, yelling things, and players it's going to get ugly. But I also find that hilarious, Wild Scooter, that wonderful anecdote of they just wait till the game is over so they can't get ejected to do the Gator stomp.
Oh, the loophole.
That is funny. But,
I mean, if Texas wanted to make fun of Oklahoma, all they had to do was pretend to have a wagon and have it topple over repeatedly. That's all they have to do.
Or what was the school that had the cow attack the dog? Was that also Texas?
I have no idea.
Remember there was the Georgia Bulldog, and then there was some chat. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The Texas mascot, I thought, went after the little Georgia Bulldog. It happened. I'll have to find that clip. We need a producer.
You're thinking of when Homer Simpson stole the pig. That was the mascot.
Well, stole the pig, or he drunkenly ran a blimp into the star kicker's leg, ruining his career.
Yes, the Texas Longhorn attacked the Georgia. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm not yet taking ginkgo biloba for my failing memory. That happened. Bevo is his name, who I might have eaten as a rawhide steak earlier.
He probably tasted delicious.
Yes, he probably did. But anyways, sorry, I hate to distract.
No worries, but I mean,
next week
you're
on
talking about
sports, which team mascot is the most tasty?
Bevo.
I personally would go for the Philly Fanatic. I think underneath that green fur lies a deliciously marbled meat worthy of perfection. Speaking of which, Brandon, how do you feel about this?
It's soft. It's so soft.
It's so soft.
Could I tweet that question? I think I should tweet that question.
Yeah.
Which mascot would taste the best? Hashtag Clickbait Sports. I think I'll tweet that right now.
I think Gritty would taste like nightmares. Like just
No.
Yeah.
The problem is if you eat Gritty, it's probably like the Ring, where after 7 days, his spirit will find you and kill you.
yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah, I'd say so. Mr. Grossi, the reigning MVP of the show, because he's out in Milwaukee enjoying himself and drinking Nuclear Spotted Cow.
Accurate.
Shout out to Tom's
Let's suppose
dedication.
Phoenix Suns fans did the 4 to you.
It's so funny because so many were doing 4, but then it turned into 5, and now it's not on one hand anymore. And I'm like, guys, like, you're not the count. Like, what's going on? Like, it's
I can do 6. I can do 6.
Yeah, it's rough.
6.
You know, I really feel for those Suns fans. No, I think like, yeah, I didn't know. So again, like, I don't really watch a ton of college football. I just wind up watching a lot of tape on prospects who are going to come into the NFL. But I think it's just dumb. Like, I think it's just like creating, like, if Scooter's saying like the chomp is not allowed, right? Like, they're still going to do it, but they're just going to wait until after the game. Like, did you accomplish anything, or did you just like postpone it so it's not like during regulation? I think like my question is why? Like, is it because it's like so disrespectful? Because if the act is like so disrespectful, they're still doing it. So it's not like it's like they're not. Are they fining them after the game then? You know, or are they giving them a suspension after the game? Then, which I think is stupid and they shouldn't do. Don't get me wrong, but like if it's to try and prevent the act is still happening just later after the game. So like I really truly don't know the motivation behind it.
They're trying to make the Longhorns relevant again. They need all the help they can get.
This is the only news that's coming out about them, you're saying?
Yeah.
It's if they're going to get penalized, it just helps them a little bit.
Yeah. Even Longhorn fans think this is soft.
Yeah.
It just seems like
the
NFL gets this crap like, well, like when the NFL like really, and they've changed this now, but when they really like a few years ago cracked down on celebrating, like really cracked down, and now they have cameras in the end zone. They're like, get the whole team, like let's go, guys. Yeah, which is a complete about face. But like people are looking at that like, why? Like who cares? Like, listen, if you want to go and you want to celebrate and you want to even taunt a little bit, you know, within means, obviously, like, great. And if you have to kind of eat that later because like your team blows it or like, you know, you suck, like that's part of the game. I think that like kind of makes it more competitive and more fun. And, you know, who doesn't like to see that? But yeah, I think it's just dumb.
That made me think of something. What's your favorite coordinated end zone celebration of all time? By the way, this is completely unrelated. Mine is the Bears, where the guy takes the ball and uses it as a microphone and dances in front of basically the Temptations. I thought that was the greatest ever.
The greatest celebration is Leroy Butler's Lambeau Leap, and there's nothing that will ever top that ever. So
that's a classic.
What about Randy Moss and his disgusting act? I thought that was great, by the way.
It would have been nothing if Joe Buck didn't react that way. Would have been nothing.
True.
But we remember it forever.
He just simulated a full moon of cheese.
Yep.
I honestly want another announcer who's offended by everything players do. Like, that's more interesting to me. Like, Joe Buck's like sort of hip now. Like, people like him. He has like a sense of humor on social media. Like, people still hate him, but like he's in on the joke now. Like, I want guys who get just really upset for no reason because it's far more entertaining that way.
Yep. Congratulations, Tree. You made it through your 10 minutes successfully. Mm-hmm. And that leads us to the man down here. That guy currently in a hotel room in Milwaukee. Which I'm sure after you check out, you'll ask them if your dignity can be included on the bill because, that's what happened. When guys are alone in the hotel, women, you do not want to know what we do in the hotel rooms by ourselves. There's just, for me, there's trash everywhere, but I will hand it to you, Tom Grossi, to...
that was our secret 5. Come on.
To go with your segment.
I will. Yeah. So as alluded to, I'm in Milwaukee and I am holding on to this hotel's Wi-Fi with every ounce of strength I have left right now. But I am in Milwaukee for Game 4 of the NBA Finals, which was last night. And it was pretty freaking fracking phenomenal. The amount of people, so like it poured here, and like there was like storms and stuff. And when I got picked up by the Uber, my guy was like, "There's gonna be 70, 80 mile an hour winds." I'm like, I don't think that's a thing, but okay. And so like when I got there, it poured and poured and poured, and then it cleared up. And there was like, I think at least there was thousands and thousands of people outside in the Deer District. But I think like it was just so insane to see how incredibly alive the city came like yesterday. Like it was nuts. And I mean, I went out to the bars and was out until like 2:00 in the morning, and like there were still people that were like flooding the streets, and we didn't even like win the finals yet. So I mean, to kind of get some group participation here, besides Scooter, who I'm sorry, Scooter's not here, but as Scooter would be here, tweeting out jealousy. You saw them win the Stanley Cup, as Five pointed out.
I cannot speak for Scooter. Like I said, I am here enjoying my time with you guys, but I think he was just happy for a good friend of his to experience a live game during the playoffs. I think that's really what the crux of it was.
Okay. So, I mean, have you guys been, like, have your cities reacted a certain way if you've been at, like, a game and they won, whether it was, a playoff game or what have you, and what was the aftermath of your locale after a win or loss? I mean, you could be in Philadelphia and have police horses punched in the face.
So I was in Baltimore, and they blew Game 6 of the ALCS in 1995, I want to say, or 97. And I witnessed the Indians go on to the World Series, and I've never seen a more deflated 48,000 completely depressed fan. Like everyone was just walking shoulders down. Like it was the most depressing thing I've ever seen. And yeah, the energy from the first inning to the final out, everyone was up and just, I've never seen a more intense atmosphere. And then to lose on an Armando Benitez slider that hung over the plate so long that I could have run up there and hit it. And then Tony Fernandez plunked it into the right field bleachers. And then watching them struggle to even get anything going in the 10th, it was sad, very sad. So that's the only thing I've ever witnessed in person. Bad.
Fair enough.
I was technically at Super Bowl 50.
You were. I remember that.
I was supposed to get into the game. I did not, and I watched it in a Bennigan's parking lot tent that I had to pay $110 alone with a bunch of strangers, eating crappy Bennigan's appetizers. I did get 4 beers included. You could pay $100 and just get food, or you could pay $110 and get 4 beers. So I got the 4 beers. And then I rushed back, got into the stadium after the game, only to edit a bunch of videos for Vic Lombardi, Denver's finest sports anchor. And then we went to the Broncos party afterwards, where I talked to Danny Trevathan, saw Demaryius Thomas in an all-white suit getting ready to go out and party. Wade Phillips was there. That was cool. But the best game I was at was when the Broncos that same season beat the Patriots Sunday Night Football in the snow, overtime, CJ Anderson, game-winning touchdown. It was freezing cold. And it was a horrible day. Like my grandma fell, broke her hip. She was in the hospital. We were in the hospital all day. And then we just went to the game. It was like it was freezing. The whole time I was just miserable. And then it looked like the Patriots were going to win. But Brock Osweiler, Brock Tober leads the Broncos back to a glorious victory. And that stadium was probably the most hyped up I've ever seen it in a victory there. So that one was pretty good. Insane.
Nailed it.
I will say, for those of you unaware, Scooter has told me about his experience when the Florida Gators won the national championship, and he was in Gainesville during that time. I believe he told me that it was absolute mayhem, is the word he used, pandemonium. We went out. I'm sorry. Yes, because we share, we are one. We went out after the win to the streets, University Street. There was a tank in the middle of the street. They had pre-lubed the street lights so that people would not climb up them. Scooter told me that he saw someone on a light despite it being pre-lubed. There were naked people running and shrieking. People were banging on windows.
Wow.
All around, he told me it was one of the best times of his life. And listen to this arrogant thought that ran through his head. Instead of getting his camera from his dorm room, which he was 2 minutes away from, this thought ran through his head instead. I'll just do it next year when we win a national championship then. Wow. Scooter. Wow.
We need to
wow.
find the person who has the skill to climb up an entire pre-lube pole. Like,
I hear Gainesville's off the chain even before like a regular rivalry matchup. So for them to win a championship must have been absolutely insane.
I'm surprised that didn't burn down.
It is a wild time, even just during regular games during this season. The tailgates are fantastic. I encourage each and every one of you to come by, stop by the place they call Gainesville, Florida.
We should do that.
What
Tree?
was Cleveland like after the Cavs won? Did it get crazy? I can't remember. Was that bad? Was that a bad celebration?
I mean, the one that always sticks in my head is Philadelphia. Like after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, because like the amount of stories, like they were pre-lubing lights, didn't matter. Like
they were going up. Like Philly will destroy their own city. Somebody could pee on the sidewalk and they would still destroy their own city for a celebration.
I'm really curious, and I'm curious of what you all think. So both Phoenix and Milwaukee, obviously, like the cities want it, and they really need it.
Oh yeah.
I am a little biased because I'm in it, but which city do you think is going to go crazier if they actually win this thing?
I'm going to vote. Yeah. I'm going to vote for Milwaukee because, like, Phoenix is so spread out. Phoenix geographically is just so huge. There's only one downtown area, and even that's, like, spread out. Like, they're just going to have mini like, they need to coordinate it. It's like, all right, let's all meet up at the Talking Stick or something and burn that down.
There's too many.
They're just going to burn down Hilla River Arena in Glendale just so the Coyotes can move.
Yeah, there's too many old people, retired people in Phoenix.
But the clips of the Deer District,
party tonight,
Milwaukee, I think is going to go crazy.
Yeah. By the way, the Deer District just sounds like a hunter's paradise. Like he's just like, oh yeah, I'm going to go shoot me a wild buck up in here. But anyways, I think Milwaukee is going to flip over a few cars, possibly.
More than a few cars, dude.
If last night was like a taste of what it could potentially be, like it's pure anarchy and chaos.
What's going to happen is they are going to go to the breweries. They are going to raid the beer, pour that all over the streets. Everyone's going to get drunk. They're going to take a bunch of fryers, and everyone is going to have cheese curds fried on the damn street. And there's another quarter. That's what's going to happen in Milwaukee.
And that's a perfect segue into the last one here.
Yay.
Wild Scooter.
Wi-Fi survived.
Yes, you have 10 minutes.
10 minutes on the clock. Guys.
What hotel are you in? Can we get him as a sponsor?
I'm at the Hyatt.
Speaking of sponsors.
Hey, Hyatt, great Wi-Fi. Good enough for Clickbait Sports.
I mean,
I have my own brew, but I don't know.
Like, Fiserv Forum is literally down the block for me. It's fantastic.
Very nice.
Nice.
Bucks and Sixpo.
No, I would like to take my time to talk about rainforest deforestation and why it is important to protect our environment. We only have one environment. And so therefore we all have a shared responsibility to protect this world. Mother Nature is your friend. What are the things that you can be doing personally to help? Well, before we get into that, let's first jump into the UFC. I am a lover, not a fighter. But I see that the UFC does offer some form of entertainment to the watchers. Now, most recently, I was watching Conor McGregor, and he was fighting Dustin Poirier in the third rematch. This was the match that was going to settle everything. Apparently, these two guys were not friends. They did not like each other for various reasons. And game 3, match 3, this was going to be the match to settle it. Well, as I'm watching, it's going back and forth, and it's going back, and it's going forth. McGregor, I think at one point, he's going to guillotine. He's going to put the guillotine in. He's going to end it. But then Dustin Poirier, he's able to use the cage, and he flips out of it. And then all of a sudden, he's raining down elbows from the half guard. And I thought Poirier was going to end it, but time ran out just as round 2 was getting started, I believe. And now it's round 2. Poirier comes out. It's a fight. It's mayhem. McGregor winds back his leg for a kick. Oh, wait. He does not. He falls back. He breaks his own ankle.
Oh, no. There's a man down.
Is called medical injury. Dustin Poirier, you're the winner. Now, upon watching this, I was so enthralled, thrilled, worried. A range of emotions was coursing through my body.
I agree.
I did not understand or believe it to be. How could it be that a man who had just lost by breaking his own ankle, how could such an individual continue to talk trash while on the ground, ankle broken, battered, bruised? In fact, if you look at the history of Conor McGregor, he's only won one significant match in the past 5 years. But
Better
this
than the
man
Cowboys, but yeah.
continues to talk trash. So I would just like to open it up to each and every one of you and get your opinion.
Normal Scooter knows a thing or two about that.
Yeah, I need to start because I think the reason people don't believe in climate change is because of people like Wild Scooter. I think it's just you're doing more harm than good for the cause, Wild Scooter.
I understand that viewpoint, but we'll circle back. We can connect off camera for that. I'll have some resources available for you for that.
Okay, show me your research.
It's so weird.
When did this become a debate over climate change? Okay, I thought we were talking about a man breaking his ankle.
Well, he started with climate change.
Well, it was really interesting.
Five, talk to me. Can you talk to me, Five, about the match? What do you think about the trash talk?
My favorite part of that fight was the post-fight where
my God,
Conor McGregor. So Joe Rogan sits. So Conor McGregor can't even stand up because his leg folded underneath him like a cheap folding chair, and so Rogan's like just on the canvas, just talking to him, and he's like, "Hey, your wife is in my DMs, you know, like just," and that's my terrible Irish accent, and he's just like, Conor will talk smack till the end. Like, he was humbled when Dustin Poirier knocked him out when he was like this on the side of the cage. By the way, McGregor came out bald last fight, got beat, and then he came out with hair this time, got beat too. So really no distinguishing powers by being bald. But what was interesting to me was Poirier talking about how he had said that he checked his kick and had heard something snap with McGregor, and that it was actually just kind of pre-broken. So McGregor's his leg was lubed up so no one would climb on it, and they still broke anyways. That's basically what happened there. And McGregor denied that. But again, if you've ever been into an actual fight, which the last one I was in was when I was like 20, there's so much adrenaline that you don't even know what's going on anyways. And if you could break your ankle, he didn't even know. He's tried to step on his ankle and it just broke underneath him. And he didn't even have any idea. He just went, So, but then a lot of other channels that have broken down the fight actually found the moment, where they think that he actually broke his ankle or his leg. And it was very interesting. I think the problem that I had was I was hoping that Poirier would convincingly beat McGregor so that he would just retire and go off into the sunset and become an actor, which I think would be great for him. But now we're going to have to hear 18 months of him rehabbing, these montages of him, getting stronger, and he's going to fight either Nick Diaz or the Poirier again. And we're going to have to.
There should be a rematch. Tree, Tom, 5 points. Jump in.
I don't care.
I'm not a big McGregor guy. I mean, he has his scotch that he's probably going to punch people over in a bar again because they don't want to drink it. But I mean, McGregor likes to talk, and he'll probably want a rematch in due time.
Well, I think if there's anything that we could say about Conor McGregor is he can sell a fight, right? Because he is charisma. And that's the thing too. What I saw is because I feel like a lot of people loved that about McGregor, whether it was fighting against Floyd Mayweather or whether it was literally anybody, McGregor is going to talk, right? But I saw, and maybe this is just me, but I saw there was a shift. Once the talking from McGregor went into boundaries of whether it was the embarrassing post-fight or whether, all the stuff he was saying leading up to the fight, it seems that people have started to sour on McGregor, and it's kind of just been a decline. But I feel like this one was a sharper one because they were looking at that, and what was Five was alluding to, you have a man who's sitting there with a broken ankle and is yelling out a 12-year-old in a Call of Duty lobby saying that your wife is in my DMs. And it was just this is kind of embarrassing. So I mean, I have no doubt he could still sell a fight if he decides to come back and fight again. But I think for some, his shtick is getting a little old.
The thing that I hate personally is that when he's out in the ring, you see him, I started rooting for him. I was just the way that he fights, the way that he moves around the ring, you're just man, knock this dude out. I want to see what this guy can do. And it's hard. You're just you feel your soul turning to the dark side because you're holy crap, I'm rooting for McGregor. I wanted Poirier to win. I would have put money on him if I didn't believe that gambling is just a tax for not knowing how money works. But when I see him out there, I'm just he's exciting to watch. And maybe the thing with him is shtick or whatever, but remember he attacked Khabib's bus. People forget about that. And he injured he injured a bunch of people doing that. So he's controversial, but I was hoping that he would lose convincingly, which he was on his way to doing. Poirier was kicking his butt.
Oh yeah.
I think my biggest problem with this whole thing, my biggest problem with this whole thing and everyone involved in this situation is that McGregor fans, they will look at Dustin Poirier walking while he's down on the ground defeated, talking trash to a man who's down on the ground defeated, and they look at that and they say, bad sport. That's not what you do when you win. That's not how you talk. You should not talk to someone like that. Come on. But what these people are not remembering is the months, the years of trash talk that has been left unchecked by Poirier, the build-up, everything that he's been saying, the non-payment of $500,000 to his charity that McGregor said he would pay These people are not seeing that. All they are seeing is in the moment someone making fun of someone they just beat. I'm just saying, consider the breath. Consider everything. Like I do in nature.
Ryan M., I'm laughing at your comment. I'm not going to post it, but I'm laughing at it. I think what the world really needs is a Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather versus both of the Paul brothers fight in the octagon. All forms of martial arts, punching, kicking allowed, 2-on-2.
With weapons.
Yeah,
we need a Hell in a Cell match.
I want to see
Hopefully one of them will get thrown off like Mankind, and they won't get out.
I just have one more question. I have one more question before my time is up. Are you guys planning to see Space Jam?
I have HBO Max, so like it'll be free if I decide to endeavor in it. But even with it being free,
it's
chat. Type 1
you got HBO
in
Max?
the chat if you will be watching.
Hard not to watch.
Type 2 if you will not be watching.
Cash in to begin with, so I'm not watching.
What is it
And
with
type
the
3
sequels?
if you're just here, so
It's because Hollywood doesn't have any ideas.
So
it's about being like marketable and making money. LeBron James will make money. Bugs Bunny, like Looney Tunes. I don't know if they make money anymore.
Bugs Bunny is the Conor McGregor of selling.
You can sell a movie.
Kermit the Frog is the Conor McGregor.
We waited forever for Coming to America. Bomb, right? We waited for Space Jam 2. Apparently, it's getting lambasted by the critics. And you know who speaks the most about how bad a movie is? The views, right? Like the audience is not fooled, and not many people are watching. You know when a movie's good, right? People are just like, just see it, right? They don't need Joey Smith says life changing. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. You know, like you know when a movie's good and you know when a movie's bad. Apparently, this movie is bad, not good. First Space Jam saw in the theater.
It wasn't crazy, bro.
I had to hang out with Wild Scooter's friends before to get the right mindset, if you know what I'm talking about, to watch that movie, and it was incredible. I felt like I was out there with Bill Murray. Okay, wow. That's how elevated I was. I was like 19, maybe 20. But no, I don't think I'm gonna pop an Eddie and watch Space Jam 2. I just don't think that's gonna happen.
Was that your friend's name, Eddie?
Yes, Eddie. Eddie comes and visits.
Is that a guy you punched? You popped Eddie?
So, yes. Anybody else have an opinion? I was gonna ask, like, what's the greatest sports movie of all time? But we can save that for next week. We can tease that out because we have officially made it, folks.
Through Clickbait.
The hour of time has been done. Wild Scooter stayed in character the whole time.
Very good.
What we have to do is sum up the monies.
We got to do the final count, kids.
And see.
People are saying Grossi got his ass
became a member. Who has memberships open?
Actually, that might be Grossi. Yeah,
I will tell you right now, I cannot see how much money I don't know how to do that on here because like I went on my studio, I can't see how much I got donated.
Then we're just gonna assume.
We're gonna assume you lost.
Yeah.
That's not what it's gonna be.
It is.
All right, let's do the countdown.
Nope,
You should have brought your laptop with you.
Like I got a lot of money.
You don't have a laptop?
No, this is on my phone because I didn't want to bring my laptop with me.
You should bring your laptop. It's like.
Listen, I still showed up.
Yeah, you still showed up.
Hey guys, you didn't want to get an auto punishment.
Wild Scooter.
You only get punished if you miss 2, like in a row. We established that
here,
weeks ago.
So I won't get fined.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
Okay.
I love you guys. Save the environment. Save the world.
Apparently, someone's saying.
Save the environment.
All right.
Save the
Apparently,
world.
they're saying Tom is less than 30.
Less than 30. That's what you get. Oh my goodness.
Please don't say that's me.
I think it is. It is.
I can't see. So please don't.
Baby.
300.
Yes. Coming in,
300 Calrissian.
Dame Lillard with the buzzer beater.
Wow.
There it is.
Thank you.
And speaking of which,
You like
I
me more
completely
than
agree with
normal, Scooter?
people are crazy, man.
I'm going to have to let him know that. I'm definitely going to put that in his face when I see him.
All right, let's go around. I had $6.99. Nice.
Well, you won, so that you won.
Mhm.
So congratulations.
Yeah.
This is where you don't want to get.
Tree, what'd you get? What was your
I
total?
am at 303.
303. Yeah, that's easily.
I barely lose, and Grossi lost. Grossi lost.
Scooter.
Grossi
lost.
Scooter.
Grossi lost.
Wild Scooter, we are donating 100% of our earnings today to the environment. All $8 will be going straight to saving the rainforest, the Amazonian rainforest. Thank you, guys.
I had 85,
$8.
so you guys don't got to worry about me.
All right. Tom,
People are complaining in my chat that it was late. Just saying.
the
You're not
jury
late.
has decided. No,
Whatever.
that was
You-
not late.
You did a double
No,
cross
that
on
was
me
fine.
earlier.
That was fine.
I
Just
don't
like,
care.
you know.
It took him a while to process. You know,
Oh, okay.
300 has to be verified. That was in. That was in. Tom, we must now decide your punishment, which I would think. Would he have to? Oh, what it is. You have to dress like that Phoenix Suns fan that's clearly on peyote.
The Suns in 4 guy?
No. The Suns fan that did the, he did the stretching and like he looks like he's constantly on shrooms. Have you seen that guy?
Yeah, not late.
People tag
Not-
me in it all the
Tom
time.
is at 320. So you lose, son.
Yeah, hold on.
Young
Let me
Rose.
find this guy. Hold on. Oops. Everyone should know who I'm talking about, but I will upload it real quick because
no
that's the
idea
kind of
who you're
trooper
talking
that I
about.
am.
Oh, by the way, you still need to do that.
Dude, I'm still waiting. Like, I honestly don't know where it is. Like,
So
I'm
this
still,
fella right here, you've
I
got to
think-
wear a.
I paid $300 for that stupid ass costume, and I'm still waiting for it.
Which
Well, you
guy?
need to call that in. All right. So you have to get an NBA sleeve. You have to get a Valley rainbow jersey. You have to get this Cobra Kai headband, and then you have to find out how he dances and then mimic that on stream, Tom.
And then
Great.
we're going to send you to another Bucks game, and you got to wear it at the Bucks game.
Nope.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh. You just got you got enough to buy tickets to.
Yeah,
You know I do not.
You can use it as a tax write-off. You're good. You're good.
The cheapest ticket to Game 6 is over $800, and that's in the nosebleed.
That's a tax write-off, man.
No.
Maybe you can
I
hook
said
up
the
with
only way I was able to afford
Matt
this is
LaFleur,
because I
and he
literally
can get
went
you a ticket.
right afterwards. Like, right as soon as they made the finals, I went and got the tickets. They more than doubled 10 minutes after I got in them.
Wow.
So, no, like, the people next to me paid over $1,500 for my tickets, and I did not pay anywhere close to that.
Well,
Did you
listen,
see any
guys.
famous people? There's no famous people in Milwaukee. My bad.
Darius Smith was there. So he was there. There was a couple. The Chance the Rapper was there. There's a few people.
Guys, I just want to let you know that Wild Scooter will not be here next week, and Scooter will also not be here next week because we are doing a family vacation. But I invite you guys to
Go on
Oh,
vacation.
join along.
See, I didn't know you agreed with me on that.
Yeah, Tom. Yeah.
I can't even type. Like, I'm on a Chrome browser right now
Whatever.
on my phone. Like, I don't even have access to the
All
chat.
right.
Like,
All right. Shh. Enough. All right. We've made it to the end of the show. Great show, guys. We actually segmented it this time. I don't know if this is going to be the format going forward, but we'll see. Any final thought? What's going on? That's good. What do you got coming out? A video on Dwayne Haskins and his wife?
No, my dad and I are chipping some wood tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean? We're literally
tree?
chipping wood.
Any haters guides coming out?
Not yet. I'm going to be doing an expansion draft live stream, probably by myself. Maybe a couple guys here or might join in, but for the Seattle Kraken on next Wednesday.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. Tom, anything happening for you?
Yeah, even though I'm in Milwaukee, content is still come out every single day. And tomorrow will be another episode of Coach, and we're going to rock and roll with it.
Wild Scooter, are you coming out with any videos? This looks like a permanent character, possibly.
Well, I won't be coming out with any new
You will
videos,
be hearing
but
from my lawyers.
Scooter said how fans reacted to Game 1 is coming out today. Game 2 will be tomorrow. Game 3 after that, and Game 4 following that.
Yes,
I'm just saying, Scooter did a great job on the conference championship, like the things that you did over there. Great video.
Yeah, I'll have to let him know that.
This is a good one. Have him start every podcast video until next Clickbait episode saying Suns in 6.
No, we got him. We got him. Right. I'm coming out with a video on the MLB and expansion. So listen to how exciting I am. Oh, boy. All right, everyone. We have made it to the end of the show. We will see you next week. Peace.